Personally, I would like a receiver here. I don't think the difference between a JJ McCarthy and then a Michael Penix and a Bo Nix is enough to draft JJ McCarthy at 6. Like, take Malik Neighbors, take Romeo Duze. I think they're great wide receivers. And then I think Bo Nix or Michael Penix will probably be available in the second round. And then I'm fine with doing that in the second round. But there's so much talent in this first round. I'd rather take pretty much any other position. Not another running back, please. Please not another running back, but something else. So
I think I really pray. I'm praying they take JJ McCarthy because it'll be just the most Giants move of all time. The Giants have no business taking anything but an offensive defensive lineman. Okay, they're awful.
Yeah.
And for
Look,
to
you're
think
not
that
great if you
Michael
pick
Penix,
6.
I'm not willing to say that Michael Penix or Bo Nix is like a good replacement for Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I'm fine with giving Daniel another chance.
Well, fellas, I have to say the pick is in.
The pick is wow. That was quick.
We know who the Giants are taking.
That was too quick.
Wow.
I've heard things about JJ. The only thing I will say is if we do get JJ, oh, here it is. Here it is. They're announcing it.
Goodell rocking no tie. What do we think of that? Not very professional.
I think Goodell, it's probably in the back. He'll put it on eventually. You can't be the commissioner not wearing a tie.
Okay. Malik Neighbors, Giants pick.
He's good. He's good. Shifty.
I
would say better than Marvin Harrison Jr.
Really?
Some would say. I might be some.
I'm happy with that pick.
Might be some.
I was a big Romeo Duze fan. He was my number 1 there, but this was probably the number 2 guy, so I'm happy with this. We've needed wide receiver help. Very happy with this pick that it wasn't JJ McCarthy. Maybe he'll be a stud. Mark my words. Maybe he'll be a stud, but I did not see it.
He won't. He won't be. Don't worry.
I'm a little bit surprised we haven't seen any teams move up here in the draft yet. The first 6 picks, everyone's staying pat. Everyone's got a guy that they seem to like. Mm-hmm. I was expecting a little bit more movement. Maybe a team like Minnesota or the Raiders or Denver come up if they really fall in love with their guy. But it's congratulations to Tristan and to Daniel Jones. You guys, you either got the next Odell Beckham or the next Kadarius Toney. Who knows?
Neither of those worked out too well for the Giants.
Oh, come on. Odell is the best receiver you've seen in your lifetime.
No. What about...
Just to
recap,
let me just recap the draft so far here. Caleb Williams went first to the Bears. Jaden Daniels second to Washington. Drake May third to New England, Marvin Harrison to the Cardinals, Joe Alt to the Chargers, and then Malik Neighbors, like we just said. Is Drake May, is the future for him, does he have to be like Tom Brady? Is that where he's got to be to be in New England and be a first-round draft pick?
I don't
the expectation.
Look, the bar, that's a high expectation. That's a high bar. As a Dolphins fan, yeah, of course. If you're not Tom Brady, you suck. Okay, and the Patriots should be really mad if that's not what he ends up being. I do like him though, especially more than Jaden Daniels. And I think that a year ago people were saying, "Hey, Drake May or Caleb Williams." Like those two are up for the debate. And Caleb sort of pulled away this last year, which I think is the right decision. But I don't think Drake May is as far off as some people thought. His ceiling is very, very high, but his floor could be in the basement in some situations. So it's a very interesting pick. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of when the Jets took Zach Wilson. And I was like, man, this guy can be really, really boom for them. But now we saw how that turned out. And, now he's enjoying the MILFs in the Mile High City.
One thing I want to talk about is something you guys didn't talk about right there.
Oh, go ahead.
Is the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels. I think he's an exciting player. I think he has a lot of potential. And I low-key think Washington had a really strong offseason. They have a young team of core players, receiver, running back. I think adding Jaden Daniels at quarterback. I think they had a strong offseason. They picked up a lot of really strong veteran guys at good value, bringing them into the young team where there's a lot of talent. I think that combo is going to mesh really well. I think they're going to be pretty good. They brought in Austin Eckler, Bobby Wagner, Mariota to be a backup. Makes a lot of sense there. They brought in Zach Ertz, Dante Fowler Jr., and then a few other guys as well across the board. But I think they have a lot of guys who are really strong players and who can continue to contribute here at a good value and help develop these younger guys.
Yeah, I don't think you named a person under the age of 45 there. So, if this was 2012, this team would be looking good. You're not wrong. I think we're past a lot of the prime on those guys.
Yeah.
You're in the division, so I don't know where your sense of let's go Washington is from being in the division, because personally, they look terrible last year. I don't think they're going to be that much better this year, and I'm okay with that. But in fairness, I don't think you guys are either. So
I'm not happy. I'm not happy for the Redskins. I will say, as a not super strong Giants team, I am fearful there's a good chance they could be better than us this year. The Commanders.
Wow. That's not saying much. That's not saying a lot. I thought Joe Alt, San Diego, or not San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers, safe pick, but a good safe pick. Like, you can't go wrong getting probably the best offensive tackle in the draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's my point. And looking at, you have Harbaugh coming in, he's going to want to run the ball, obviously. I think Blake Corum as a day 2 selection is going to be a shoe-in for him. Realistically, he's the number 1 tackle on the board. And right now, the Chargers currently have a good tackle already. And what's his name? He was their first-round pick a couple years ago. Anyways, they have a young tackle already. And, adding this guy to the other side of the line, I mean, that's what Justin Herbert needs. I mean, look, availability is the best ability. And this guy, he's constantly getting hurt. He's got ribs. He's got shoulders. He's got arms. He's got, I don't know, dandruff. Like, anything with this guy is just an excuse for Chargers fans. So, you know what? Give him some protection. I'm fine with that. Because when the Miami Dolphins come in and run through the Chargers, I don't want to hear anything about them.
Cool.
Stop the press.
Well, we do got to talk about
the Atlanta Falcons have selected Michael Penix Jr., 8th overall in the draft.
Wow, what a shot.
What?
I agree.
You just signed Kirk Cousins. You just got Kirk Cousins. Obviously, he's the now, not the future. But this is where you're going to take your first overall pick in the draft? You're in win now mode. You're going to take Michael Penix? And I know this is off topic, and I know that that blows my mind. I totally disagree with that. I thought you get rid of Arthur Smith, the head coach, and you're finally going to start doing some stuff. Crazy pick to me.
I agree.
Quick response. I don't hate it. I actually don't hate it. I think
I don't hate it at pick 48.
Do you know how much Kirk Cousins got paid? Do you know how much Kirk Cousins just got paid for them to draft another quarterback?
They're not picking him to play tomorrow. Let him sit behind Kirk Cousins for a year or two. Let him get comfortable in the league. Let him do what Jordan Love does.
Why sign Kirk Cousins now? Why?
Give him something to learn under. Who else is going to learn under?
But they want to.
So you're going to give him a tutor, bro? Don't pay Kirk Cousins.
They gave him contract to teach.
This is. I know. I get what you're saying, Jordan. I get it. I disagree with it. I don't think that this is the move. If you're a win now team, you have Bijan, you have Pitts, you have Drake London. These guys are going to have to get paid. Jordan, are you really going to tell me that those guys aren't good because Desmond Ridder was throwing them the ball? Desmond Ridder couldn't hit the wide side of a barn last year. But this guy, Michael Penix, he's also not the most accurate guy. That's why I thought, okay, second round, maybe you get into that rate. Late first, you trade back up and get the 5th-year option on him. This is way too early.
You could have got Romeo.
Too rich for my blood.
You could have got Romeo Aduze here and then traded up late in the first round. Taking him in the
Get over it. Get over Romeo Aduze. Get over it.
Whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the obsession with Romeo Aduze from you.
I think the Bears are going to get him. The Bears are going to get him right here, and then pair him with Caleb, which is solid.
A lot of people are saying that. Look, that's a deep.
Let's chicken on the draft. What are our thoughts with some of the most recent picks here? I know Vikings are about to make their selection.
Okay, yeah. Well, we saw a trade. The Jets and the Vikings. The Jets traded back 1 spot to 11. Vikings move up and they say, "We got our guy. Give us J.J. McCarthy." I don't think a lot of people would have been expecting that 18 months ago, 12 months ago. But you know what? We're here. We're now. I think he's a great fit for Minnesota. I think by far they have one of the better situations for a quarterback to come into this year. You got Justin Jefferson. You got Jordan Addison out there. Maybe you get a little bit more production out of your running backs this year, help take some of that pressure off of him. But you also got Sam Darnold there, who, whatever, he played however he's played, but I don't think he's I think he's on the same level as Jacoby Brissett in New England. And so when you compare those two situations, it's okay. You have Jacoby Brissett and Drake May behind him, but a much worse offense versus McCarthy with Sam Darnold in front of him with a much better supporting cast. I really like this spot for them, and I like the conviction to go get their guy. I don't think that they were at risking of the Jets taking him there. So the trade, it's maybe they were talking to another team, maybe a Denver or an Oakland guy. We're just going to come down and take him. Yeah. But I like that pick a lot more than the Michael Penix pick. Way more. I thought he had a much better year than Penix. I mean, we saw how the championship turned out.
Yeah. I think the pick makes sense. I'm surprised they traded up. There must have been a reason for it. I probably would have waited. I'd want to see what they gave up for that one spot. I'm hoping it's not too much, but
it was a couple late picks. Late pick stuff. Right, late picks, Jordan, what is that? What are you doing?
I don't know if he's the guy, but I will say he's done one of the most important things for a quarterback to do, to be on my radar, is win. He wins games. He won games. I know
he's white.
But he won games. So we'll see. And the Bears right before that did take Romeo Duzé. I think they're having a great draft and lucking out with these picks. I mean, hard not to luck out with the first pick, but their second one too was good.
Jordan got up exasperated. Please enlighten us. Enlighten us with your thoughts.
I think that J.J. McCarthy is the biggest bust of a QB that we have seen since Troy Smith. Like,
Josh
I don't.
Josh.
Have you guys watched a game of college football? I mean, he is trash. He is not a good quarterback. Michigan is a better football. No. Let me talk. Let me finish. Michigan was a better football team than Washington. Straight up, no doubt about it. Probably the best football team in the country. Georgia might have gave them a game. Who knows? But it wasn't because of him. He was the reason they lost to TCU. You guys, that is a terrible take. The best part about him going to Minnesota is the fact that he has a dome to play in, so he has a regulated temperature. Because this man is trash. I'll be surprised if he actually ever sees a second season as a starter.
This man played in Michigan.
Yeah, they don't have weather in Michigan. There's no weather in Michigan, right? You're so wrong on this, Jordan. Okay, first of all, there's an issue. There's a disconnect. Okay, did he have as many opportunities as some of the other quarterbacks in this class to make plays? No, he didn't play that much in college.
He can't make them because he can't make the plays.
He won games.
Jordan.
He did what he had to do and beat some of the
Jim Harbaugh said he's the best quarterback to ever walk through Michigan's halls. You know who else went to Michigan? Thomas Edward Brady. Am I saying he's better than him? No. I'm saying he was drafted 250 spots ahead of him, though, so maybe he might be.
That's funny.
I'm telling you, we could come back in 2 years, because that's when he'll be out of the league, and look at this, and I'll be like, yeah, I said it.
Wow.
2 years we'll be out. Even Zach Wilson's still in the league.
He is not good.
I can't wait to come back in 2 years.
We'll see.
I did not anticipate coming into this draft as a huge J.J. McCarthy guy, but you know what? I feel like I have to fall on that sword now. He just to spite you, Jordan. He's my guy.
Ever since the Giants passed on him, I've been.
I was almost ready to walk. I'm almost ready to. We should keep the conversation to the UFL because I'm almost ready to walk off this podcast. This is actually absurd. I feel like I'm talking with unknowledgeable people about the game of football.
Vikings win total next year.
He belongs in New York with the Jets. He belongs in New York with the Jets because it would be perfect.
Vikings win.
Well, the Jets just took offensive tackle Olu Fashanu, so he's not. Big Penn State boy. I like him.
Jordan, what you got? Vikings win total next year.
What's the line at?
I don't know, but what are you saying they're going to win with J.J. McCarthy at quarterback? Let me hear you.
If he's starting at quarterback, 3.
I like Kirby likes the pick.
I'll bet the over there. You want to put money on it? Put money on it with me.
No, because I want to look at their schedule. But again, I want to see what their line is.
Put Kirby's name right on.
He's got to be starting quarterback.
Yeah. End of the podcast.
And I'll say
No, thank
Look up the win total,
3.
and we'll look up their schedule, and we'll make a bet.
It's not going to be in there right now. I mean, they just drafted.